It's the 4th of July, and you know what that means: fireworks, barbecue food, and swimsuits. That's right, and God bless America for it. Cue the Eagles, baby! Speaking of swimsuits though, Capcom recently added some to Street Fighter 6, and they look really good. Although, Jesus, Chun-Li, aren't you a mother now? Feels like you're setting a weird example for your child, and also the orphanage you run. But damn, I can't deny you look good. So God bless Japan too. However, it got me thinking, why doesn't Mortal Kombat have this? Street Fighter is a T-rated series, along with Marvel Rivals, which I feel is worth mentioning too. Mortal Kombat is rated M, and still refuses to add swimsuits. So I made a poll to see how much gamers want swimsuits added to the series, and yeah, it's pretty unanimous. Likely because the series had similar outfits in the past.
Hi, I'm Jade from Mortal Kombat. I'm 362436, and I'm a Scorpio.
Ooh, vintage. That's hot.
You're hot. How about a kiss, baby?
They weren't technically swimsuits, but come on, they absolutely could qualify as swimsuits. And yet, I see more of these outfits at conventions than recent Mortal Kombat games, which just doesn't feel right to me when so many gamers want them added. Sure, we have modders that can do it for us, and you'll see a good amount of that gameplay during this video, but only PC players can use these mods, and most Mortal Kombat players aren't using PC. So yeah, the developers should really consider adding these costumes for the next game. Leave a like down below if you agree while I explain my points further. But first, a quick shout out to Gamer Subs, because get this, it comes in a can now. That's right, several delicious flavors are now contained in a can, and they taste really good. I've sampled a few of them myself already, and I won't lie, sometimes drinking from a can is just more satisfying. And they just dropped today, so use my link down below to get yourself 10% off any purchase. And just so you know, every purchase you do make helps support this channel directly. Or in other words, it's an absolute win. But if that wasn't cool enough already, there's also new flavors and pixel cups that dropped as well. That's right, we got fireworks to celebrate the 4th of July. It's a fantastic pixel cup, and the art wraps all the way around. It's super cool. Or if you prefer the waifu cups and merch, there's a new one for that too. Check it out on screen right now. Really cool stuff happening at Gamer Subs. They have flavors in a can now, which is so cool, and I can verify how delicious they are, but the pixel cups also look really cool, and you got a new waifu cup as well. Along with everything else that's on the Gamer Subs website, there's honestly some really cool products there. In other words, there's never been a better time to check out Gamer Subs. Use my link down below to get 10% off, and every purchase supports this channel. Alright, back to the video. Why Mortal Kombat deserves swimsuit costumes. As mentioned earlier, players clearly want these costumes. Not as the default looks, of course, but just as an option. The majority of players would love having swimsuits for their favorite characters, and some might comment how it's my audience who voted here. But that's a moot argument to make, because number one, this poll is actually public for everyone to vote on, and gets recommended to tons of people who never subscribe to me. In fact, most people who watch my videos are not subscribed, and the same goes for this poll. So my opinion on the matter likely had very little impact on the votes. Plus, let's just be real for a second. Do you think somebody saw my poll and went, how would Underdog like me to vote on this? No, that didn't happen. Every voter on this poll was just voicing their honest opinion. So to be crystal clear on the matter, this poll is genuinely how Mortal Kombat fans feel. I've made similar posts in the past on both YouTube and even Twitter, and guess what? The votes were similar. But if anyone wants to show a poll with different results that also has thousands of votes, please be my guest. Okay, back on track. Mortal Kombat fans want swimsuits in the game, along with revealing costumes in general. And since every other fighting game has no problem doing it, even if they have T ratings, and in Marvel Rivals' case, an audience with tons of kids playing, then why does Mortal Kombat refuse to add these costumes? Is it possible they aren't aware of the demand? Maybe they're just too busy balancing the game and listening to other fan feedback? While it is possible that NetherRealm is oblivious to fan demand on this issue, it's not super likely, in my opinion. I mean, we even had the costume designer himself saying that bathing suit fighters aren't returning because it breaks immersion. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but he basically said you would never fight in that outfit, which is kinda true, but these outfits don't make sense for fighting either. Johnny Cage isn't dressed fancy here because it's battle ready. He just happened to be wearing this when a fight started. So couldn't that same logic be applied to the swimsuits? Maybe Kitana and Melina are relaxing at the pool, possibly during an Edenian holiday. And then bam! Ninjas leap from the shadows to assassinate them. I mean, that story makes enough sense and would explain the swimsuit costumes. Plus, recent Mortal Kombat games have plenty of outfits that break immersion, at least a little bit. So keeping these costumes out because they're not logical doesn't really hold any water. Get it? Hold water? Because swimming pools hold water and we're talking about swimsuits? But yeah, swimsuits in Mortal Kombat make just as much sense as these costumes. However, to extend the olive branch, I understand if some players want the option to disable these costumes, so that when they play online, the characters are only wearing their default costumes. That's actually very easy to code, and some video games already do this. And if NetherRealm added that feature, it would mean the swimsuit lovers get what they want, and the people who don't like the swimsuits can just turn them off. It's literally a win-win for both types of players. But what about the moral argument? I see some people bring this up in the comments, and honestly,
shut the fuck up. You thought you ate that?
are we seriously worrying about morals in a Mortal Kombat game? The series famous for murdering your opponent as violently as possible. The same series that enrages fans when the fatalities are even slightly censored. We're talking about the same series, right? This ain't church combat, so why are some people so preachy? You have a game famous for killing people, and you think revealing outfits is taking it too far. Do you honestly realize how ridiculous that looks? How crazy that sounds? I'm not saying this to be condescending at all, it's just the reality of this goofy argument. If you're okay with the gory gameplay and really violent fatalities, then you can't clutch your pearls at swimsuits, or any revealing outfits for that matter, because from any moral or ethical standpoint, that doesn't make any sense. So I suppose now it's a good time to mention this topic. This word has become very popular in the gaming space lately, or at least on social media, because anytime anybody asks for sex appeal in their M-rated game, this four-letter word appears. So just for the record, nobody is actually gooning while playing the game. I know it's silly to mention this because it's common sense to most people, but nobody actually plays Mortal Kombat one-handed while wearing sexy outfits. That's just a joke people make. It's only a joke, which I only brought up because some people say just watch Prawn if you're such a gooner. But the thing is, I don't like watching that stuff because it negatively impacts real women, unlike video games where everything is fictional. And that divide is very important to bring up because haters will say to just watch Prawn and mock people for wanting revealing costumes in a game. But Prawn can actually harm real people while video games are entirely make-believe. So when you tell someone to go watch Prawn, you're actively asking them to engage in a worse activity than playing a video game. And I just wanted to point that out because the hypocrisy has always bothered me. At the end of the day, I can't think of any real reason to omit swimsuits from Mortal Kombat games or any revealing outfits of that nature. Marvel Rivals allows it, and that game is technically owned by Disney with lots of kids playing. Yeah, the family-owned company is okay with sexy polygons, and other T-rated games like Street Fighter 6 don't mind either. Both of these games on screen, along with basically every other fighting game, understand that players want these costumes. It's basic supply and demand. The audience wants something, and the company provides it because they like money. And player demand is the only reason I'm making this video, by the way. I think denying players what they want is lame, at least when it's something basic like costumes. You obviously can't give gamers everything they want, but costumes are just costumes. And for the record, I don't want Borat bikinis or anything wild like that. Like mentioned earlier, I think the Chun-Li costume is a bit extreme because it doesn't really fit her character. So of course I don't want Kitana wearing a micro bikini or anything too extreme. I know some people in the comments will pretend I do want extreme costumes like that because they either didn't watch the full video or just want to lie about me. Some people really do like lying on the internet. But to end this video off, I just want Mortal Kombat players to get the costumes they want. However, I also understand if some players want the option to keep it away from their eyeballs. It's easy enough to code that, and some people really do want that immersion. For me personally though, games are just games. That's why I can tolerate playing Tekken online despite all the horrific custom characters that people make. Honestly, in hindsight, I would like an option to turn that off because it can get immersion breaking for me. Having the option to have every character wear their default costumes on your screen would be a nice touch. So yeah, NetherRealm could just add that feature and make everyone happy. Thanks for watching the full video everyone, and happy 4th of July. If you enjoyed my video, please leave a like down below, it helps the channel out a ton. And if you're new to this channel, subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss any future videos. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.